months or something. So I want to probably, like, I will do a Factions and an Eye of the North and Nightfall playthrough. I'm happy to do those, but I'll probably wait until their anniversaries, just to, you know, stick with the hype and all that. Factions was 1 year later, and Nightfall was 6 months after that. Gotcha. Are you going to roll through Factions on your Ranger? I will make a new character so that we experience all the zones from the beginning. I don't know if it'll be... Look, I know I want to involve a Ritualist. I've thought about Ritualist main. I've thought about Ritualist as a damage dealer, where like you're summoning the spirits that are attacking for you. I've thought about Ritualist as a support, like play a healer role. I've considered Ranger / Ritualist because Ranger expertise reduces the cost of all rituals by like half, so you can spam stuff more. Those are all things I've considered, but all I can really tell you is I remember having fun on Rit back in the day, and I would love to do it again because Guild Wars 2 has nothing like the Ritualist. Nightfall's the one I have no clue what I'm going to do. Nightfall I've never played, so it'll be a new story for me, and I look forward to that. But in terms of classes, I've never really been drawn to trying out a Paragon or Dervish. So, no clue what I'm going to do there. Right now, the whole thing was like, I had this silly idea with like all the Beatles. And, well, at the beginning it was just tons of Ranger pets using heroes, right? I didn't know I was going to use Beatles, but that's what it ended up being. But that was the plan for this one. Later on, we'll do something different. If you like healers, go Paragon. I do like supporting. If Paragon... I mean, Paragon... you know, Paragon can be a support role, and that might make me pick that over Dervish. Like, Dervish seems solid, right? Like, I'm watching Mox. Mox is a Dervish. Like, I get it. It seems like it plays kind of like a Guild Wars 2 Reaper. And I'm not knocking it, but it's a type of gameplay style that I would get bored of quite quickly, I think. Alright, Dark Oak. We found him. Darkness and light, good and evil, all are a part of nature. There is no regrowth without death, without decay. Such is the lesson I can teach you, stripling. Why do you disturb me? I sense no fear in your heart. That is good, for there is no reason to fear me. I am but an aspect of nature, just as decay and death are part of the natural cycle. I already know the question you wish to ask, and yes, I can consult certain powers to obtain an answer, though it may not be to your liking. The powers I would consult require sacrifices. If you wish me to consult them, you must seek out the mighty centaur lord Drogo Greatmane. Bring to me the centaur's heart, and you shall have the answers you seek. So I'm like, yo, what up? And he's like, if you truly wish to learn what up, I will need you to go murdering. And I'm like, yeah, alright. Really? That's all it takes to get our character to go murdering. Okie dokie. Rightio. God, we gotta go all the way back to the Reed Bog, good lord. Oh boy, here I go killing again, yeah. Wasn't Dervish the Spellbreaker inspiration? My current mental image of a Dervish is a melee combatant that excels in area of effect. They run into the middle of a group of enemies and they hold out a scythe and they spin. If any of that's wrong, you can tell me, chat. That's what I currently envision. Hold on, we got a few pet chips in the queue.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
He was asleep. Dervish plays the most like Herald in Guild Wars 2. I don't know why people keep missing that. Well, I have freely admitted, Deborah, that I haven't played it. I'm just giving you my impressions of it, seeing Mox do it. Now, Mox, of course, only currently knows like 10 Dervish moves, because that's what he starts with, and I haven't unlocked the other 80. but that's just based on what I've seen. Toggle plus chip. Hang on. There we go. Alright. Ah. Cloud of hair stuck to my hand. Okay. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Redebog. Over to the east. Not you, Muck. I just see so many people say Warrior Daredevil due to the scythe, the class structure, and the skills are like facets. Gotcha. But yeah, that's another thing is, in Guild Wars 1, unlike Guild Wars 2, each class can have like, what like 100 skills? Like, here, hold on a sec. Let me show you something just to drive the point home here. Ranger skills. Okay. All right, just to show, this is for the noobs. These are the Ranger skills in Guild Wars 1. That's one class. That is one single class. Okay? So, there's so many ways to play it, right? Because of just the sheer number of freaking skills. There's so many ways to play each class in this game. So you might be like, oh, this class plays like X, and someone else is like, no, it plays like Y. And you might both be right, because there's just so many ways. So, like, here's what I remember from my nearly 20-year-old memory of Ritualist, right? There was a version of Rit that summoned spirits, and the spirits attacked. So that was kind of like a damage dealer. It was like you were using them like totems from Path of Exile. You guys know the totem builds? You just, like, you summon these stationary objects, and they basically were guns, right? Then there was other spirits that were beneficial, like any damage any party member takes is reduced by 10, and that damage is funneled to the nearby spirit until the spirit dies. So it would just soak damage and shave it down, making the party's hits take less damage. Then there was jars of ashes. It was like you would conjure a thing and then just hold it, and while you were holding it, you couldn't use your weapon, you couldn't attack, but you would be pulsing out a buff of some kind as long as you were holding the thing. That was another whole line of skills that I remembered. That there was really nothing like that in Guild Wars 2. The closest was the Vindicator Elite, where you hold the big urn or whatever but that's just sort of like a second. Then there was like weapon enchants, or weapon enhancements or enchantments or something like that. Basically, like, you would sacrifice your mana regeneration to put an enchantment on an ally and buff their weapon in some way, shape, or form. I remember that also. So those were all completely different lines of magic, and each of those lines had like 30 skills to choose from. And that's just off the top of my head, and that's dusty knowledge that, there might be way more now. That's from when I dabbled in it, like, almost 2 decades ago. Dusty Muck with dusty knowledge, that's right. I mean, it was only like 19 years ago. It's pretty recent, right? Oh, Antidote. For a while, I thought Antidote Signet was available to everyone, like Res Signet, and then I found out that it was Ranger only. And I felt bad for other people because it's a really, really nice skill. It's like, yo, get all this bad stuff off of me. Drogo Greatmane. Oh boy, here I go killing again. Here's the guy that a tree said go murder it, and I'm like, alright. Ooh, a golden item. And his heart. Fun fact, Healing Signet is going to be available to all professions in Guild Wars 1 Alpha. Healing Signet, isn't that warrior only? I think I've seen that on mobs that I have fought against. Does it do anything beyond click a button, get heal? I don't think there's much more to it than that. I see a figure 8 beetle. It's an 8 ball, like a pool ball. Yeah, that's one of the designs it can get when you go through a zone boundary. It reduces your armor while casting it. Interesting. Yeah, the ranger heal skill is Troll Unguent, which is quite nice, but it's got like a 3-second cast time, which is like an eternity in combat. At the low levels, though, it was really good. When it says item unlocked, bow grip of shelter, I'm assuming that means if I use a fancy salvage kit on the bow, I can like get that item and then put it on another bow. The same way I've been doing with that rune on my armor. Yeah? Okay. 14 to 26, I think that's points. 36, 24, damage. Sortier set. -5 energy. Ugh. I don't know that I want to keep a handle that has -5 energy on it. Hold on. If I do... Oh, that's not the -5 energy. Okay. Wait, did that use up a charge of the salvage kit when I just used it to, let's see, 22 charges and then cancel? No, it doesn't use up a charge doing that. Okay. Be a minion mancer with that? Oh, you're talking about the Necromonk guy. He salvaged that gold bow with barely a look. I have not salvaged it. I just wanted to see how that worked. When you unlock an item, that means you can salvage the item out and add it to another weapon of the same type. It also unlocks for your account to be used on weapons in PvP. Gotcha. Let's see, hang on. Yeetle is blue this time. Oh, one of them has like a peace sign. You guys know how, like, if you put up an enchantment, some enemies can remove it? Or if an enemy does an enchantment, some of your spells can remove it? What about other beneficial spells that aren't enchantments, such as the shout that I'm currently spamming? Can that be removed? I've actually got 3 shouts on my pet right now. Shouts can't be removed. Okay. That's good for me. Bad if I run into an enemy using them. Let's use one of the birthday cakes. We got a bit of a run through here. Oh, I don't have my info. This is the last level I can use them. Foe hammer. Chat, advice. So, I got a gold item here. I don't care about the gold item, and I don't super care about the grip thing that I can salvage off of it, although I could take it, I guess. If you get a gold item and you don't really need it, what's the best thing to do? Do you still salvage it, or do you sell it to a vendor for gold? I would just vendor it. Sell it. Okay. Alright. Sell for gold, merchant, sell. Okay, seems like everyone's in agreement. Let's see, coins, coins. No such thing as TP. I assume you mean trading post there? For a second, I was thinking town portal. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right, but at the same time, there is that thing where, like, you can buy and sell materials from, which is kind of like player trade. But, yeah, I mean, I guess there's not really a trading post for, like, a gold weapon. Right, I get your meaning. I've been shot. Dude, finding out that shouts can't be removed in any way makes together as a one, like, even more crazy. Like, wait, this cannot be removed. Look, I'm healing all the beetles up right now. Let's see. It's called going into a town hub and spamming selling item name for blood until someone joins your party. I could see myself doing that if there was something I really wanted to buy, but otherwise it's like, money's going up. I just have to be patient. There's nothing I really need. Let me look into the dark. I see a great beast, a great cat, a lion. The lion hungers. He's devouring the forest, the entire forest, nay, the entire world. A host of gleaming angels. Not angels, but birds. Carrion birds. Bright and terrible as the sun accompanying this lion. All falls before his hunger until naught is left but bitter ashes. That's all I see. I killed a centaur for that? Bruh. That's it? That's all you gotta say to me? Alright. ID this. ID that. ID that. Fire magic +2. Can I put a rune on Vec? I don't see anything stopping me. Let's find out. Huh. Cool. I wasn't sure if that would work. Alright, cool. So I just gave him +2 to his fire magic. Neat. Okay. Merchant. Hold on. Do I have enough of this? No, I don't. Okay. Sell. Yep. Oh, sparkler. What bow am I currently using? Yeah, well, I might could salvage the parts of that. Salvage this. Okay. Let's see. So we got a rune on him. Blood so good. Return to Deeproot. I think that guy was right outside of the town here. There we go. Let's see. This is a dire vision indeed. The lion he saw is obviously Kryta or the White Mantle, but what of the carrion birds? I must consult with Avenia. Perhaps she can interpret this vision. Thank you, my friend, for everything you have done for us. Barbed Signet. Target and adjacent foes suffer bleeding. 3 seconds duration because I don't have points in blood magic currently. No mana cost. That's cool. Savage Shot, bow attack, interrupts an action. Interruption effect does plus 17 damage if the action was a spell. Only a 5-second cooldown. 5-second cooldown on an interrupt. Marksmanship, but you don't really need to pour points into. I mean, 10 mana though. Well, 10 mana now. Hold on. For each rank of expertise... Okay, so expertise is 12. And for each rank, everything's 4% cheaper. So right now I'm getting 48% cost reduction. So just round it slightly, so about half. So any ranger stuff would be about half cost. So that interrupt would be 5 mana down from 10. Yeah. Yeah, that matches that. So like, this is 10 mana. 25, it went down to like 19, immediately ticked to 20. Okay.
Get these ads out of my face. I mean, yeah, resub.
Hey, Virtue. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's see. Urgent warning. Meet up with Gretchen's scout. Okay, that's over there. Let's see. I can try to start heading in that direction. Probably, like, by the time we hit the next zone line, it'll be about time to take a break. So let's start walking in that direction. Virtue, thank you for the prime, dude. Appreciate that. The primes are a huge help. They keep me alive. Because, you know, food. Also Coca-Cola. My one vice. You're now in Dry Top and Guild Wars 2? Am I? Yeah. Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that. Now, are we going to go into that underground area that's the size of Blackreach? Ooh. Dude, we have a bunch of eyeball beetles in our party right now. Not true, because there's actually an area called Dry Top. Well, I think what he means is we're in the area that will be futurely known as Dry Top. It's kind of semantics. I started to say formerly, like we were talking about Prince, but it's not quite the same. I wish the Beatles didn't swap skins every map change. Dude, these Beatles have a bigger wardrobe than I do, IRL. They're like, what am I wearing today? Got blood all over my 8-ball outfit. I have got to change. 2 Beatles come out wearing the same outfit. Oh my god, one of us has to change. Someone said earlier they sound like the Splatoon characters, and now I can't stop thinking about that. Can you change the hero profession when you add them to your party? You can change their secondary profession. Let me give you an example. Ogden is a monk. You can leave him as a monk, or you can make him a monk ranger, or a monk ritualist, or a monk elementalist, or a monk necro, blah, 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 blah. But his first thing is a monk. You cannot change that. You cannot change that. Halish says there is one hero you can change the main class of. Really? Which campaign is that hero in? I haven't heard of that. It's one that I've never met. Nightfall. Ah, Nightfall's the only campaign I've never touched. Okay. Oh. Oh, doing regen. We just hit a flame trap. Here's a little question. Up here, is this the exact amount of total heroes in the game? Or is there more beyond that number of boxes? And if so, what happens to the UI if there's more? There's way more? That's just who's in your party? Gotcha, okay. The boxes indicate the heroes you're currently grouped with. There's like 20 heroes? Oh, okay. You're missing all the Nightfall ones? Oh no, I'm missing tons, right? I mean, this character hasn't done Factions or Nightfall, and I ran into Eye of the North for like 30 minutes. So I'm missing tons of them. I'm just asking questions. You play the Stars at tonic. It's a tonic, Matthew. It's been quite the conversation starter, though. You can turn some of your own tunes into hero tunes. You talk about the mercenary system, I think? Noxie told me a little bit about that. I raided Noxie at the end of my morning stream on, I think, Friday. And Noxie had a whole party full of people named Noxie. And I'm like, what is this? How did you do this? And she's like, oh, these are mercs. I got them from the pay-to-win store. They're my other characters. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think that Devourer was a necromancer, which I didn't expect, and he was making some kind of wells from those dead Devourers. First I thought it was a ranger because I saw green, but then I realized I was like, oh wait, that's like a different shade of green. He's a necro. Where is he at? Here. Etin's back. I'm at the wilds. We're near each other. I did the wilds just a little while ago. Would love to see you explore Alona for the first time. Comment on as my own. Oh, Nightfall? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'll probably wait to, because like when we finish Prophecies, which will probably be like within the month, right? I don't want to do like, let's say I did a Nightfall playthrough immediately, and then next year we do Return to Nightfall. I'm gonna be like, I just did this, you know? And it would be a shame because that would be when like the viewers would be really high and people would be hyped for it and stuff like that, and I would be tired of it because I would have just done it. So I'm going to hold off on Nightfall and Factions until the potential 20-year events for those, which would be next year. But we'll, with how good the response was for my channel for this one, I'd absolutely do those. I would absolutely try that out. Like I said, Factions, I hardly remember it. Because I just remember I was basically a kid, and I was just like, I was playing my Minion Mancer, and I was like, whoa, if I buy this expansion, my Minion Master gets a flesh golem? Yo! And it just freaking went to Best Buy, slapped $20 or whatever it was on the counter. I went home, I Googled where's Flesh Golem, and I was just like, shut up NPC, skip cutscene, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I literally skipped like 2/3 of Factions, just tunnel visioning to get the Flesh Golem unlocked. That was why I purchased it, chat. I was like, big pet, let's go. That was the whole reason. So I remember none of the story. Urgent warning. The White Mantle already swept through here. I was sent to keep an eye out for any more coming through this area. They were too many and we were too few. Talk with Elder Gretchen in Aurora Glade. Perhaps Din Ravi is not lost yet. Yours one Flesh Golem, really yours two Flesh Golem. I mean, it really shows you that my my love for minion builds goes back quite a ways. Like, I have a few other weird, like, you know there's an area in Factions that's basically like a giant ghetto. I remember running through that. Like, of all the zones in Factions, the memory of that place visually, that one stuck with me. I remember the mega ghetto. Half of it's a ghetto. Well, okay, I don't remember which chunk, but it just I can mentally visualize that, and that's it. I love when the beetles split up like Zerglings and hit tons of different targets. The enemies were like, ah! Much of Kanang is very much slum vibes. Well, part of that I remember. Funny enough, the city, like the capital, you know, the Lion's Arch of Factions, I can't remember that at all. It might like when I get there, I might be like, oh, I remember this now. But like right now, I can't picture it at all. Co-op mission. Okay. This is actually perfect timing because it's right at midnight right now. But real quick, I just want to look in here, see if there's any collectors or merchants or anything. When you say ghetto, what do you refer to? What's the image? Like, I'm imagining like hobo homes that look like they're barely standing on their own, but somehow they're like 8 stories tall. Like it's like hobo home on top of hobo home on top of hobo home, and they're made out of like sheet metal and like cardboard and just crap like that. And it's just like, this has no right to be 8 stories tall. Medical Waffle wants to trade. Medical Waffle, you've been stalking me. Wait, what's up? 50. No, I'm good, but thank you. Thank you. I'm okay. Let's see. At this point, we need your weapons and your spells far more than Valor's warnings. The White Mantle have come through here and destroyed everything in their path. Where they found abandoned villages, they left behind them only sticks and stones. Where they found Shining Blade, they left behind only corpses. I fear we're fighting a losing battle. We cannot afford a misstep in the ritual to open the portal to the Druid Henge of Dan Ravi. The druids are little more than spirits now. They have transcended this world and have become part of the jungle, abandoning their villages. Until recently, we've been using the structures they left behind as camps from whence to plan our operations. Until Guild Wars 2 and the druids come back. For some reason. Looking around, I see a merchant. I see storage. Don't see any collectors. This mission could be tricky. We'll have to get to this mission next time. Looking over here. Let's see. We get stuff like that. Champagne popper, ale, sugary drink. ID the forked sword. Brute sword. Thorny carapace. Salvage the centaur hide. I need a new identification kit. And then I think we're down to the stuff that I want to keep. Somehow Druid's return. Yeah. I don't know if you can call it stalking. This game is primarily on a railroad track. No, man, he followed me through the jungle. He was out there like the Shining Blade. Ooh. I got you. I was thinking. The first half of the story after the tutorial of Factions is Ghetto Environment for a while. You're describing old Caning. Every trailer park here in KY. Alright, chat, with that, it is past midnight. We've made some good progress. I'm honestly really glad that I stopped imposing that rule on myself that was making it less fun. And just dipped into Eye of the North, which allowed us to do some customization on our party and have some fun with it. And also get this skill that, get that one elite skill that I had my eye on that lets me feel like I'm doing a support role at the same time. Feels good. Brain is making the happy juice. So we've got our save here, and we will pick it up from this spot next time.